Hello, friends. What's going on? It's your man, Bubba B, and I'm fresh back from my hometown of YYC, otherwise known as Calgary, as well as our rival slash neighbor to the north, Edmonton, and all parts in between. I'm back here in the WYG, otherwise known as Winnipeg, otherwise known as the Gateway, the original, the pathway to the west, as well as the epicenter, the exact center of Canada. One of the things I noticed in Calgary is that they're going through an economic downturn right now. So big shout out to everybody in Alberta, in Calgary, who's feeling the economic downturn. But hold on, we've been through it before, and you'll go through it again, and that's just how it is. So they had a couple speakers in from the United States, and they're not just regular speakers. They're people that had a serious economic and developmental approach to helping to sustain Denver, Colorado's economic downturn back in the 80s. If you know anything about Denver and Calgary, they're very similarly positioned in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, and they're both tied to economic flux of highs and lows and ebbs and flows and all that kind of good stuff. So, former mayor of Denver, Federico Pena, and former CEO of Denver Economic Development, Tom Clark, they stopped by Calgary. Now, part of this is quoted from the Calgary Metro News. So, big shout out to Aaron Chata from the Metro in Calgary who did this little interview. But they basically they had a conversation, and the former mayor and the economic development manager, Mr. Clark, gave Calgary some very key and important messages for helping to tide the storm or weather the storm, sorry, and to just to keep the city going and to keep growing and to make things better. And one of the key things, and I'm just going to read this, I'm just going to quote it directly from the paper, okay? And I just want you to listen to this because this is very important, Winnipeg. It's very important for everybody in Canada to hear what this is being said here. Because these are people from our big brother in the United States that we look up to with such honor and regard. But they broke it down so eloquently. Here it is. Usually, in economic downturns, the arts are one of the first areas that get cut when trying to save money, right? First thing governments want to do is like, well, how much we spending on them movies and how much we spending on this entertainment and supporting artists and actors and stuff? How much we spend on them? Cut it. You need to cut it. You need to cut it. Your grants are way too high. You need to cut it. Okay. Quote, the arts are kind of like a gun. You'd rather have it and not need it than not have it, said Mr. Clark. The arts are important to recruiting companies into your city. This means understanding all the things an employee might be interested in. And if you don't have strong arts industry, you'll lose opportunities, Clark said. It's just as important as having strong schools. In Denver, there's a tax specifically designated to keep cultural amenities alive. The Denver Center for the Performing Arts is now the second largest U.S. performing arts center next to New York. You can't have a great city unless you have great arts as a part of it. Boom. There you go. That is the quote, end quote. You can't have a great city without having great arts in it. So, I'm speaking to ACTRA, I'm speaking to the CRTC, I'm speaking to Bell, I'm speaking to all the companies all across Canada that are in the media and that are supporting arts or that are thinking about cutting their funding to the art programs in their city or their localities. Do not do it. You need your arts. You need to be able to support us, the artists that are out there trying to create energies and create performances and create new works of art and music and entertainment for whether it's employees that you're trying to get to your city or whether you're trying to keep the employees and the youth that are there with you right now. You need to supply that funding. You need to supply that infrastructure. You need to supply that network for the arts everywhere, all across the country. It's important. If you don't have it, there's no artists, then people don't want to come there, then no new stuff is being made, and then next thing you know, you have a ghost town. Words to live by from your man Bubba B. Peace. More to come. fund the arts.